anybody in this room besides us, or is it just
John Radicasso's
John's here?
Lisa.
Lisa's here. Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, if you guys are here, announce your presence.
Please let us know.
We're going to give people a few minutes to join us, and then we will get to storytelling. How's everybody doing? What's everybody drinking tonight?
I'm having a lovely red wine.
From the same bottle as mine.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was a good noise.
That was good. John, save that.
Hi, Sarah. Ooh, I know, Lisa. Our mics are so professional. We're pretty excited about them. We had to have them in.
Yeah.
In the
It's
thing.
because of guys like you. Fiends like you. And ladies.
Lady fiends.
Lady fiends.
Hi, Brian. Lady fiends. We don't like that one.
No.
Yuck.
People are coming.
Yeah. Hi, guys. We're very excited about tonight because we're going to talk about Goosebumps stories. I wear my Goosebumps shirt.
I don't have one.
Oh, no. Well, maybe there'll be a magical appearance at TJ Maxx for you as well.
Oh, exciting.
Which is where I found mine.
Oh.
I know. I felt really lucky, like I won the lottery. Making chicken tinga tacos? What's a chicken tinga taco, John? I want it. Lisa's also drinking red wine. Nice. It's like she's here with us.
Nice.
Yeah, we approve. All right. Well, the important people are here. I suppose.
This is true.
I don't know who's gonna come around tonight. We'll have to kind of see.
Might be a surprise.
It might be a sad surprise.
I don't know.
I hope not. We'll see. Our patrons are all wonderful, so anybody we have is magnificent.
Sure. This part's always awkward.
I know, where we're like, sometimes people come in late, so we want to give them a minute.
See, this is when we should rehearse like a song and dance.
You always want a song.
I'm just saying, it would be something to do.
I'm not going to see a dance. They would only see, like, if we stood up, you'd only see this much of us.
That's all that anybody would want.
Or just like a dance at the table.
Yeah.
A sitting dance.
Yeah. I never said we had to stand.
Oh, you were right. So good. Okay, well, let's get it rolling then, because why not? Hey, Leslie.
Hey, Holly.
Hey, Fiends. Welcome back to our faces. I wish we could be talking to each other in person, but I'm going to, manifest that for 2021.
I love that journey for you.
Thank you. We're going to have a live show this year. There may be 7 people in attendance, but it's going to happen. Yeah. Even if it's just a live meetup in somebody's backyard. I love a goal.
And a ghoul.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That was good. So tonight we are talking about the Goosebumps books.
Oh.
Yeah, my daughter Violet just got into them, and we're reading them together before bed now, and they're really, really fun. And all the kids in them are kind of mean in a way that 90s kids probably find very relatable. Everyone is not nice to each other.
No.
Like they are now. But you know what? That was real. Next time, some murder-related jokes. Sarah, maybe we'll have a whole set of murder jokes. You never know. So I know the Goosebumps series gave a lot of spooky people their start. That was like one of their gateway spookies. And for me personally, it was the Are You Afraid of the Dark TV show, which Leslie and I have talked about, and the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book series, which if you watch my What the Friday, you'll learn some fun facts about that one. So, and maybe we can do a show on those stories at some point.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, those books are so good. Oh no, my cat is eating a houseplant. I thought there was a child down here. There was?
Flinny.
Announce yourself, child.
He walked back upstairs.
Okay, he left. Anyway.
I'm no snitch.
You can be. Hi, Katie. Katie's here.
Hey, girl.
So, again, the Goosebumps series is a little beyond me, but what was your spooky thing?
Sorry, Dad.
What was your, I'm a little kid, I read this under the covers, or I can't tell my parents I saw this?
Well,
Besides Pet Sematary, we all know you were traumatized by Pet Sematary.
yeah, I mean, everybody would have known if I read something scary because I just cried a lot.
Oh no! Well,
Pat the bunny was terrifying.
So if Leslie's just sobbing,
Yeah.
that's how we know.
No, probably the ghost books that you were talking about.
The scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, remember the
We had
illustrations in
those.
those books? They are so creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Violet stole mine, and I just bought a new set. I bought the trilogy like brand new.
Oh my.
Gone. They're for sure in between Violet's wall and mattress. Katie said she loved Are You Afraid of the Dark and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Yeah, they're really good ones. So tonight we're taking inspiration from some classic Goosebumps books to tell you the real-life stories that closely resemble them. I'm not saying Goosebumps were all based on a true story, but there are stories out there that are quite similar. But before we launch into that, let's give the books and their mysterious, bespectacled author a little mini exploration.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goosebumps. Oh, yeah. Oh my. Goosebumps, for the very few of you that don't know, is a series of children's horror fiction novels published by American author R.L. Stine, and published by Scholastic Publishing. So that means you could get them at the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yes.
Woo! Which that was an absolute thrill.
Oh, best day of the year.
Seriously, I have yet to find an event in my adult life that I look forward to as much as I looked forward to the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And that's, consequently, that's what got Violet into children's horror books, because they're the most interesting thing there. They feel like kind of forbidden.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, am I old enough to buy the scary books yet?
Mm-hmm.
The Goosebumps stories follow child characters who find themselves in scary situations, usually involving monsters and other supernatural elements. From 1992 to 1997, 62 books were published under the Goosebumps umbrella title. Wow. 62 is prolific. And this is part of what R.L. Stine was known for. It has been said that he could knock out an entire Goosebumps book in 6 days. Which, that's some focus. I can only imagine what laser focus like that must feel like, because I definitely do not have it.
Yeah. I feel like you get in a rhythm. I always think that with, like, Stephen King.
Yeah.
You just have, like, a system.
6 days, though? That's nothing.
Yeah, but his are short books.
They are, I guess. I don't know. I'm still impressed. Brian, Amityville Horror is what got you into... You really just jumped over all the other kid stuff and went right for it. Well, all right. The Goosebumps novels also had various spin-off series written by R.L. Stine, like Goosebumps Series 2000, Give Yourself Goosebumps, Tales to Give You Goosebumps, Goosebumps Triple Header, Goosebumps Horrorland, Goosebumps Most Wanted, and Goosebumps Slappy World.
Oh, my.
I know. I had to say Goosebumps a lot. It also spawned a television series and merchandise.
I used to watch the show.
Yes, I remembered it too. My Violet found it. I think it's on like Netflix or Hulu. You can watch the old show.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, this is weird. And I said, well, that's because it's old. So sorry. There's also 2 feature films starring Jack Black as R.L. Stine. Watch them. They're so funny.
They are really good.
They're so good, right? I was very pleasantly surprised. Mm-hmm. Since the release of its first novel, Welcome to the Dead House, in July 1992, the series has sold over 400 million books worldwide. I know, in 32 languages, becoming the second best-selling book series in history after J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter.
Yeah, girl.
So R.L. Stine's creeping in there.
Oh, my.
Individual books in the series have been listed in several bestseller lists, including the New York Times bestseller list for children.
Okay.
Just a little bit on R.L. Stine for you. Ronald Lawrence Stine was born on October 8th, 1943 in Columbus, Ohio. The son of Louis Stine, a shipping clerk, and Anne Feinstein. He grew up in Bexley, Ohio. He began writing at age 9 when he found a typewriter in his attic, subsequently beginning to type stories and joke books, which is fun trivia considering the typewriter plays a huge part in the movies.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a really cute thing that they added in. And my kids low-key think that Jack Black could actually be R.L. Stine, and I'm okay with that.
That's adorable.
Yeah. They know he's actually in the movie, but I think part of them is also like, that could be him.
That's him.
Yep. So I like that fact. R.L. Stine graduated from Ohio State University. There you go. In 1965, with a Bachelor of Arts in English. While at OSU, R.L. Stine edited the OSU humor magazine The Sundial for 3 out of his 4 years there. He later moved to New York City to pursue his career as a writer. Stine, who did himself appear in the TV series, was quoted as saying that he was inspired to create the Goosebumps series by the comic book Tales from the Crypt, which I also absolutely watched the HBO television show when my parents thought I was asleep.
Okay, so that would be the one that I probably saw before everything else.
Yeah,
'Cause I would have watched that with Sarah and Adam.
I definitely snuck that, and I should not.
No, I was terrified.
I didn't belong watching it. It was sexy too. Like it
Yeah.
was not a kids show.
It was funny. I remember being able to watch the shows, but I had to get past the opening, like with the skeleton guy.
With the Crypt Keeper?
With the Crypt Keeper.
Oh yeah.
Like that was the only part that terrified me. The rest of it I can get through.
Oh, that's so funny. You just didn't like the Crypt Keeper?
No.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. My Alexa just told me she thought that it was funny in a good way.
Yeah, thank you, Alexa.
The sentient robots all over my home. Okay, now that we have done our historical due diligence, let's get to the fun. I chose to explore the stories in the books Say Cheese and Die and Night of the Living Dummy. Violet and I just finished Say Cheese and Die, and that one got like real dark. Somebody dies.
Yeah.
What did you choose tonight?
I chose Piano Lessons Can Be Murder.
Ooh. Hopefully you guys are into like these specific books. I think they're pretty, like they're ones that everybody probably would have read. So refresh your beverages and get cozy in your blankets because it's time to get spooky. So I'll go first. Say Cheese and Die is the story of a group of kids who break into an abandoned house and discover an old camera in the basement. But it's no ordinary camera. It takes pictures that predict horrible events to come for the subjects. So let's read the blurb, shall we? Quote, Greg thinks there is something wrong with the old camera he and his friends found. The photographs keep turning out wrong. Very wrong. Like the snapshot Greg took of his father's new car that shows it totaled. And then, Greg's father is in a nasty wreck. But Greg's friends don't believe him. Sherry even makes Greg bring the camera to her birthday party and take her picture. Only Sherry's not in the photograph when it develops. Is Sherry about to be taken out of the picture permanently? Who's going to take the fall for the evil camera? Oh no, battery. Is my plug down here?
You're so bad with technology.
I'm very bad with technology. So this is fun. So for this one, I first tried researching haunted cameras. And as it turns out, most people blame the photo or the situation and not the hardware. But since this book does also use haunted or evil photographs as well, I went with that. Ghostly photography is pretty well known. It's a pretty well-known phenomenon at this point. We all know what an orb looks like and that there are a lot of questionable, blurry figures out on the internet. But a lot of those are proven fakes. My favorite fake is the photo that went around a bunch of years ago. That's like a family, like a 1950s family in like cute little dinner attire sitting at the table and a body's falling out of the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That it's totally fake. But like, what a story. That one's fun. After wading through the sea of doctored photographs, I found one that really hooked me. And that is the story of Chloe and the Myrtles plantation.
Ooh, the Myrtles.
The Myrtles. Has anybody been to the Myrtles? Does anybody know this story? Sarah, yes, Will has a superpower cord catcher. When I was like, oh no, power! He was on it.
Cord catcher.
Also, Sarah, sorry about bringing up Ohio State.
Sarah does not like Ohio State?
Not this week.
Whoa! Oh no. Leslie's
Sorry,
mad
girl.
now.
Not sorry.
Oh, Lisa, you read Say Cheese and Die and being legit scared because that's how dark it did get. Very dark. I was surprised and they even mention it in some of the like Goosebumps. If you just read stuff on the series, they mention that one as like sometimes dark things happen, like when someone dies in this one book.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the Myrtles plantation is located a few miles outside St. Francisville, Louisiana, and it is precisely what your brain conjures up when it hears the word plantation. Both beautiful and sinister, it is a large and stately white home with a sprawling wraparound porch. The trees are dripping with lacy Spanish moss, and the sweet smell of myrtle blossoms drifts in on warm breezes. Inside, there are grand staircases and crystal chandeliers, priceless antiques and ornate plasterwork. It's all of your Gone with the Wind dreams come true. And it's a bed and breakfast now, so you can stay there. Though I'm not sure you're going to want to after you hear the rest of the story. Also, I recognize that both Gone with the Wind and plantations in general are extremely problematic. And I'm not sure we should be vacationing in them at all. As you all most likely know, our fiends are intelligent and informed people. Plantations were built and run on the backs of black slaves, and their history therein is fraught with horrifying violence, rape, backbreaking labor, severe abuse, fear, punishment, and a disregard for human life that should shock every single person who reads about it to this day. And the Myrtles was no exception. In 1992, the owner of the Myrtles had taken some photographs of the property for insurance purposes. The insurance company had required photographs be taken that would show the distances between the buildings to aid the underwriters in writing a fire insurance policy for the plantation. And when the owner developed these photos, one stuck out in particular. This photograph included the general's store and the butler's pantry. There's like two little buildings on the estate. And the breezeway between those buildings. Again, they're photographing the distances between buildings for fire insurance. So that's why it's just a picture of like a gap. So it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the shadowy figure standing in the breezeway of this photograph. When the photo was taken, there were no people present. The owner had made sure of this so that she could get the distances properly documented without interference. But in the photograph, there is clearly a young woman dressed in the typical clothing of a slave and a turban on her head, staring off from in between the buildings. And at some point, Will's going to show you this picture whenever he gets to it, so don't be like shocked when it happens. There it is. If you see in the little breezeway, you see the little person. Yeah. At first, the owner did not believe her eyes. She looked and looked and looked and tried to explain this figure with maybe a trick of the light or perhaps someone who worked for her that she hadn't seen creep in there, but no. This wasn't anyone she'd ever seen before, and she was so clearly dressed in clothing from another time. Who was this, and how did they get into this photograph? The National Geographic Explorer filming crew determined that the photograph definitely contained what appeared to be the apparition of what they believed to be a slave girl, and this little passage is from the website that the Myrtles has. The slave girl appeared in the breezeway between the general store and the butler's pantry of the mansion. The horizontal exterior boards of the mansion were clearly visible through the body of the apparition. National Geographic Explorer was fascinated with the picture, and they have gone on to use it in some of their paranormal documentaries. They also went on to suggest that a postcard should be made of this photograph, which it was, and is. And you can still buy that postcard should you visit the Myrtles today. Additionally, Mr. Norman Benoit, a patent researchist, visited the Myrtles plantation in May of 1995 and requested permission to research the postcard. After enlarging the postcard and doing a shadow density procedure, Mr. Benoit discovered that all of the physical measurements of the apparition were of human dimensions and proportions. The circumference of the head, the length of the shoulder to the elbow, and the length of the elbow to the wrist were all indicative of a human. But who was this human, and how did she get into the photograph? Well, a little research would show that tragic events of the past may be gone, but they are never truly forgotten. Just like Chloe. My cat just jumped up on my screen door, like way up high in the middle. It was, if you were here, you'd be very scared.
It was me.
I'm the ghost. Sorry about that, you guys.
They probably couldn't hear it.
Probably not. The Myrtles plantation was built in 1796 by General David Branford on 600 acres and was named Laurel Grove. General Bradford lived there alone for several years until President John Adams pardoned him for his role in the Pennsylvania Whiskey Rebellion of 1799.
Well, that's delightful.
I know. I wish I didn't research it because I was like, I don't have time to go down that rabbit hole, but boy, does it seem fun. So if you want to...
shout that one over to me.
I should have. If you want to read about the Pennsylvania Whiskey Rebellion, please bring your information to us because that sounds great.
Yeah.
He then moved his wife Elizabeth and their 5 children to the plantation from Pennsylvania. Upon Bradford's death in 1808, his widow Elizabeth continued running the plantation until 1817, when she handed the management to Clark Woodruff, one of Bradford's former law students who had married her daughter Sarah Matilda. The Woodruffs had 3 children, Africa Gale, James, and Mary Octavia. It is documented in family records that Sarah Matilda and 2 of her 3 children died in 1823 and 1824 of yellow fever. But that isn't the truth. Yeah. Clark Woodruff was an outwardly respectable man, but inwardly a typical plantation owner. He had the habit of sneaking off in the evenings to have, quote, physical relations with his female slaves, and let's be honest, this is a very gentle description of what was most definitely rape. Clark favored one girl in particular, a young, quote, light-skinned girl named Chloe. Because yes, it didn't matter how old they were, and she's referred to as a girl everywhere. Yeah. Chloe had been serving as a governess to the Woodruff children and therefore worked in the main house and not out in the fields. And this is a very coveted position. When Clark Woodruff began forcing himself on Chloe, she was repulsed by the situation, but knew that if she said anything to anyone, she would be beaten and whipped within an inch of her life and sent out into the fields to labor. So she kept quiet. This situation carried on for a while, and Chloe enjoyed her position in the big house with the children, where she was fed, dressed in relatively new clothes, and allowed to sleep in a bed. She was never beaten or spoken to harshly, and the children treated her with affection. So this was the highest position a slave could hold. It is by no means a good life, but comparatively speaking, she did have it better than others. After a time, Chloe came to suspect that Clark was tiring of her company and was on the hunt for a new lover. This terrified Chloe. If Clark replaced her with another new girl, would that girl then take her place in the home while she was sent outside to the fields? Chloe began paranoid, and she got really paranoid and began eavesdropping on the family, as well as Clark and his gentleman guests in the evenings, which was not tolerated well. One evening, Clark caught her listening to his conversation, like from the hallway. She was like listening in, and he flew into a rage. He grabbed Chloe, drug her outside, held her down, and cut off her ear.
Ooh.
Yeah. After that night, Chloe always wore a green turban to hide her mutilation.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Seeing that Clark had grown cold towards her, Chloe hatched a plan. She would create a situation where the family desperately needed her so that she could not be sent away. Around the perimeters of the house grew slender, blossoming oleander plants. Chloe knew that the liquid in the stems of the oleander was toxic. So one night, after the house had gone to bed, she gathered a few stems and hid them away in her room. Chloe also knew that the next day she would be organizing the birthday party for the Woodruff's oldest daughter, and that included making a cake. Chloe thought that if she slipped a little of the poison into the birthday cake, the members of the Woodruff family would fall ill and need her to stay with them around the clock to nurse them back to health, and becoming this like very needed savior to the family. She figured that would secure her place in the house, even if Clark decided to take on another lover. The day arrived, and Chloe carried out her plan, not knowing that she had wildly misjudged the amount of oleander liquid to put in the batter. After serving the cake, one by one, the Woodruffs began to fall gravely ill. What began as intestinal distress turned quickly into seizures and vomiting blood, an illness that looks distinctly like yellow fever. When the whole ordeal was finally over, Mrs. Woodruff, Africa Gale, and Mary Octavia would be dead. While Clark Woodruff did not know what had really happened to his wife and 2 young daughters, the other slaves definitely did. They knew what Chloe had done, and that she had put them all in grave danger, because they also knew what oleanders did, and they could recognize what happened. If her actions were discovered, Chloe's that is, all of the slaves on the plantation would have suffered greatly at the hands of their master. He would most likely have assumed that this had been a mutiny and that they were all involved, and they would all go down in the process. To protect themselves, they dragged Chloe out into the field and hung her from an old oak tree. Once she was dead, they weighted her body down with rocks and dropped it in the river. Chloe was never seen again. Well, never in her earthly form. To this day, guests at the Myrtles Bed and Breakfast will report hearing restless footsteps on their floorboards late in the night. They see the image of a young woman in a green turban behind them in the mirror, or wandering through the courtyards at dusk. They will hear the bouncing of a ball and the disembodied laughter of children. But never will the source of these sounds be discovered. Chloe's tortured soul still wanders the grounds of the Myrtles, looking for a way out of her desperate situation, hoping that she'll be able to escape her terrible fate. Guests have tried for years to describe what they saw wandering those halls, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. I know.
That was good.
Thanks. I like that one. That's a good spooky ghost story.
Yeah.
What are our people saying?
Wow.
Lisa just read about the Whiskey Rebellion while reading Hamilton. That was not a good time. People were pissed. Oh no.
Oh,
I mean, it sounded like there was whiskey in a rebellion. That sounded fun in theory. Less fun in reality.
well,
All right.
that was spooky.
I have another one
Where
later.
did they get all of that information from?
I guess just records of the plantation.
Oh.
Because the family records, the Woodruff family records,
Mm-hmm.
have, like, I mean, in those days, I guess some people still do. It's marked down, like, when people were born and how they died and, like, any significant events that happened. And it's just marked down that Sarah Matilda, Africa, and Octavia all died on the same 2-day span of yellow fever, which has, like, definitely comes in waves. Like, yellow fever, not one or two people have it. Like, everybody has it and dies. And I don't think that was the case in the area at the time, but I didn't research that fully. But the symptoms of yellow fever are precisely the same as oleander poisoning. And I did look up both of them. I didn't just take the story at its face value. They are both intestinal distress, vomiting, then you get, like, sweaty fever, disoriented, seizures, and then, like, you vomit blood. And in yellow fever, it's like black vomit, they call it. But I know it's gross. Come on, Will.
Will can't handle it.
Toughen up. Yeah, and so they would look exactly alike. And if you had no inclination to think, like, well, somebody poisoned us, you would just be like, well, that's what happened. And they were all sick. Just the 3 of them died. The rest of them survived eating this poison cake.
Gross.
Yeah, super wild.
That's really sad, though.
It is sad. And then
she
they
just pops
killed
up
her?
in photos.
I know, and he cut off her ear. That's why she wore the turban.
Man.
I know, there's a lot going on in that story.
Yeah.
All right, well, Leslie, what do you have for us?
Okay. So again, mine is the piano lessons can be murder.
Ooh, they can be,
They
can they?
can be.
All right.
So this book is when Jerry finds a dusty old piano in the attic of his new house, his parents offer to pay for lessons. At first, taking piano lessons seems like a cool idea, but there's something creepy about Jerry's piano teacher, Dr. Shriek. Something really creepy. Something Jerry can't quite put his finger on. Then Jerry hears the stories, terrifying stories, about the students at Dr. Shriek's music school.
You think?
Students who went in for a lesson and never came out.
I mean, his first mistake was being like, you know who'd be a good music teacher?
Dr. Shriek.
Dr. Shriek.
He shrieks.
Yeah, it's probably like nothing weird that goes on there. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost my story.
No, get back.
All right.
I don't have enough wine for this.
My tale. Holly picked a really good correlating tale.
I have another one too.
Mine is connected because there's a piano involved.
You didn't find someone really named Dr. Shriek?
No.
Pretty mad.
I tried. There will be shrieking.
Oh,
So.
well then, that's another one.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm here to make it work for you.
It was a beautiful Sunday morning in Coudersport, PA. Is that how you say it? Coudersport?
How is it spelled? Where is it?
Gotta make this bigger.
That's what it looks like.
Coudersport.
Coudersport? Sport full of
I'm gonna start over.
Couder.
Sport.
Sport.
Cool.
We're not gonna say a Gooter sport.
Coudersport. Well, maybe if there's an accent, like a Pennsylvania
The
accent.
Pennsylvania doesn't have an accent that would say Cooter sport.
I don't know. All right. It was a beautiful Sunday morning in Coudersport, PA on December 2nd, 2012. Families headed... Is the cat there? Cool. Banks. It's fine.
You know what? He's living his life. Keep going. That's Binks, you guys. That's our black cat Binks. He makes appearances in the podcast a lot when I'm like, the cat is purring. The cat is on the table. It's this cat right
Oh. Thanks, Banks.
Binks! Go away. Okay, he laid down.
All right. Always fun.
Brian
Right.
says Countersport, PA is only about 40 minutes from us. But did we pronounce it right?
That's what I want to know.
I know.
I don't care where it is.
Are we saying it right? I don't know. Keep going.
All
He'll
right.
tell me and I'll tell
I'm
you.
only on the second sentence, so here we go.
Well, we did have a cat invasion.
We did. All right. Families headed to morning service at the First United Presbyterian Church of Countersport. Upon entering, members of the congregation would say a quick, quiet hellos to other members before finding a place to sit in the many rows of pews. They would save their conversations for coffee hour. Do you know what coffee hour is? It's like after the church service, everyone would like gather, like usually in the church hall, and they'd like have, usually like a certain family would get it each week, and they'd like make coffee and bring treats, and like everybody would just like hang out for a little, like
Can
an
I
hour.
just have coffee hour and not church?
It was nice when you were a kid because you would just go to Sunday school and then coffee hour, and it was like great.
Perfect.
Yeah. Darlene Sittler had already been at the church for a while. She had gotten there early to set up her music and run through the songs before the congregation filled in. She was the church's organist, and she always enjoyed the quiet before the service began. Even as people came in, all to be heard were muffled whispers, clearing of throats, and cough drops being unwrapped. Darlene would turn around from her organ to quietly wave hello to all the familiar faces. The church doors closed, which meant it was almost time to start, and Darlene turned back towards her organ. The service couldn't start without her. The church bell struck, and it was... that was supposed to be an edited sentence. She began to play. The side doors opened, and the pastor and other members of the altar entered. The mass would continue as normal until about 20 minutes in, when the church doors reopened and a man wearing a hooded jacket came in and shot Darlene with a .45 caliber. The man was recognized as Gregory Eldred,
AKA Dr. Shriek.
Dr. Shriek. Everyone shrieked.
There you go. You did it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
He was Dr. Shriek. He was Dr. Shriek. You got me all like
I want him
flustered over here. Okay. The man was recognized as Gregory Eldred, Darlene's ex-husband. Gregory...
What did Gregory do?
I should have read this before I came over. Gregory... I can't even say his name. That's the problem.
You want some
Gregory.
popcorn? Is that going to help?
Thanks, guys.
Okay. It's not going to help, is it?
Nope. Okay. Gregory immediately after shooting Darlene went straight to his car, placed the gun on the hood, and stood there for several minutes. Meanwhile, 911 was called. The pastor and his wife ran to the doors to hold them shut. Gregory started to walk back towards the doors. He demanded to be let in. The pastor pleaded with Gregory to drop his gun, but Gregory wanted to see Darlene. He wanted to make sure she was dead. After a bit of a struggle, Gregory got back in and shot 2 more bullets into Darlene. The first shot had sent her into the organ pit, and the next 2 surely killed her. It was done. No one else was hurt. The police came and took Gregory into custody. So a little backstory.
Yeah, lay it on us. That was Gregory's violent.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Gregory and Darlene married in 1988.
Oh.
Yeah. They were musicians and teachers. Darlene graduated from Lennon Valley College in Annville, Pennsylvania. She taught music to students in kindergarten to 6th grade. For her last 30 years, she taught at the Northern Potter School District. Gregory taught music at the elementary school in Countersport and was a clarinet player with the Southern Tier Symphony. They attended the First Presbyterian Church in Countersport together. Darlene played the organ and directed the choir. So they were very involved.
Yeah, that sounds like nice and normal.
Mm-hmm. In April of 2010, Darlene filed for divorce.
Oh.
Sources close to her would say it was because of Gregory's obsession with adult pornography.
Not child pornography, thank God.
Their divorce would only take 4 months to finalize. On November 30th, 2012, so this is the year that he shot her, like
This is so
just a couple
recent,
days.
too.
Mm-hmm, just
Ooh.
a couple days before. The FBI raided Gregory's home. They found child pornography on his computer and took it for further investigation. Darlene was contacted about the search warrant and questioned for further information. She had told friends that she only knew about his adult porn addiction and was now nervous Gregory would assume that she had set him up and that's why he's being searched for all this other stuff. She mostly just hoped that but she really was like, I just hope he doesn't actually have child porn because I only know about the adult
Oh my
stuff.
God, and then he did.
Yeah.
Ew, I hate him.
Gregory will later tell police that after that night, he was extremely embarrassed and did plan to kill Darlene. He, how else could anybody have known? Even though, obviously people monitor you.
Yeah.
It is
Who's
being
in your
monitored.
house?
Yeah. He thought about killing Darlene right then. He was nervous the police would take his guns, but they hadn't that first night. On December 1st, he realized that the police were going to come back to find more child porn and that they would be back to collect him and his guns. So he had to act fast.
Oh my God.
He had a dream about killing Darlene at church, shooting her 3 times while she was at her organ. Afterwards, he would leave the church, put his gun on the car, and then throw his hands in the air for the police to take him.
So why did you kill her? You were already going to go to jail. Now you're going to go to jail also for murder?
Well, because he wants to... He's angry at her. And wants
he
to
just
kill her,
wanted revenge.
And he only has a day to do it because he knows that the police are going to come back
So this
to
wasn't-
get his guns.
This wasn't motivated by saving himself in any way. It was just revenge.
Yeah, he just went black in the
Wow.
eyes and was just like this. He said he had a dream that this is how it should all be done.
Dr. Shriek?
Yeah. So, so he had this dream and he knew that it had to be done this way. So on December 2nd, he woke up and did just that. After Gregory had come back in to shoot Darlene the second and third time, several members of the congregation swarmed him. He fired off another shot, but luckily did not hit anyone. Police arrived within 5 minutes and escorted Gregory out of the church. The entire congregation climbed aboard a school bus and were driven to a place to be questioned by a team of police. It was wild that they had all these witnesses too, so they could put him away.
He just walked into a church full of people and shot her? Wow,
And
that's ballsy.
On July 10th, 2013, Gregory pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, and the judge sentenced him to life in prison.
Wow. That was bananas.
I know.
That guy just was a terrible
Such a
person and
jerk.
nobody knew it.
I know. It was wild because when I first read the story, they kept saying that, we don't know why he killed his wife. We don't know why. And then, the further I researched, then I found this other, piece where it was, a couple days before the police came in and, raided him for child pornography. And mind you,
It's obvious now.
I tried to research a story for, to connect with this piano, and I kept trying to do, piano teacher kills, murders or something. And literally every article that popped up was piano teacher or music teacher arrested for child pornography. So many, guys. There's so many.
Oh, no!
It's terrible. It was terrible.
That's very disappointing.
So sad.
Oh, no.
It makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can see why. That's not good.
No.
Will is on the other side of the camera like this.
So.
Can we go back to the vomiting blood?
Yeah.
That was much more palatable.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to one up Holly somehow.
My description of yellow fever. Oh, no. Well, this one comes with a picture that is so more unsettling than anything else we've said. So don't worry, I saved the best for last.
I didn't involve any pictures of mine.
There were enough pictures.
Yeah, I didn't.
Spoken of, Beth Olivero said that her dad was a music teacher at Lebanon Valley College. Or he went to Lebanon Valley College, and he was a music teacher. Ooh, maybe we have a connection to this guy. Maybe she'll know more.
Maybe.
Who knows? Yikes. Oh,
I
man.
think she graduated in the early 80s.
Got it. Whew. Well, we never know. Brian says there is a tourist attraction, the Counter Sport Ice Mine. It's icy and cold inside and dripping with icicles in summer. Whoa. Brian, that's crazy. You should go. I would go.
Go right now, Brian.
No, go right now. If I lived there, I would totally go.
I learned how to pronounce it.
We did it right.
Okay.
Leslie got it right first shot.
Right.
She killed it.
I didn't sing it either.
You did it. You could.
Counter Sport. PA.
Now you'll always remember Countersport. Now we're all going to say it 100,000 times. Countersport. Okay. Last one. Perhaps one of the most well-known stories in the Goosebumps canon is Night of the Living Dummy, featuring everyone's favorite evil ventriloquist dummy, Slappy. My kids love Slappy. Let's read the blurb, shall we?
Yep, please.
Lindy names the ventriloquist dummy she finds Slappy. I love that none of these blurbs are grammatically okay at all.
Yeah.
They just start off in the middle of nowhere. The sentence is not... No wonder. I mean, he wrote them in 6 days.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really surprised.
I mean, I guess it tracks. Lindy names the ventriloquist dummy she finds Slappy. Slappy is kind of ugly, but he's a lot of fun. Lindy's having a great time learning to make Slappy move and talk, but Chris is jealous of all the attention her sister is getting. It's no fair. Why does Lindy have all the luck? Chris decides to get a dummy of her own. She'll show Lindy. Then, weird things begin to happen. Nasty things. Evil things. No way a dummy can be causing all the trouble. Or is there?
I bet there is.
Yeah.
Bet there is.
Yeah, this is a safe bet. There is. Needless to say, the girls find a mysterious card in Slappy's pocket with some gibberish written on it. And because they've never seen Cabin in the Woods, they read the Latin and Slappy comes to life. I know. Don't read the Latin.
Not in front of the books.
I know. And he starts doing unspeakable things, of course. Even though he's the character in a beloved children's book, there's something eerie about Slappy. And he was on the screen. Well, the movie version of Slappy was on our, waiting screen, if you guys saw it. And the ads, some of the ads for today. And he's creepy looking. We all know better, and yet I don't think a single one of us would want to encounter Slappy in the darkened hallways of our home. Slappy is undoubtedly scary, but he has nothing on Mr. Fritz.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, you're going to hate this so much. Michael Diamond is a UK magician and owner of a rather large and esteemed private collection of oddities and sideshow memorabilia. Among his possessions are real execution swords and axes, a wax model of, quote, the elephant-headed boy, Houdini's handcuffs, real shrunken heads, and at the center of it all lies Mr. Fritz. Or at least, what's left of him. He is in a locked plexiglass case, mounted on a pedestal, and he is a large and garish head that once belonged to a ventriloquist dummy. The head is on the small pole that would have connected him to the rest of the body, and there are ropes and wires dangling from its disembodied neck, which used to work the mechanisms in its eyes. And Will, if you want to put up that picture, you guys can see, there's Mr. Fritz. Yep. Mm-hmm.
We go back to the child.
The mechanisms in his eyes would not only open and close, but let the eyes look left to right as well. Will is now doing this again. I knew everyone's going to hate Mr. Fritz. And obviously his mouth would move up and down to mimic speaking. Mr. Fritz is a lurid pink and red color with dark brown eyebrows and a bald, blistered-looking head. His wig has clearly been the victim of time and circumstance. He is wrinkled and aged, and if you think you see him winking at you, that is no trick of your imagination. He's really winking at you. Look at him. Look at his eyes.
I feel like he's having a stroke.
That's
what's happening.
Give him a look. He doesn't look too red-faced at all, right? He looks good.
Can somebody get him back to the burn unit, please?
I know. It's okay. Well, he does have a sad story.
He has eyebrows like what was our first case? The doctor.
Oh God, Carl Tanzler.
Yeah, he has
Like Helena's. Yeah, he does. He has those weird.
They're beautiful.
And there's probably some real hair in there too.
Yum.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his cute little button nose.
Look at his gory mouth.
It is rouge.
He looks like he's doing great, you guys. I don't know. Is everybody loving him? No, nobody loves him. Oh, Lisa says he's cute.
Yeah. I have to pretend that he's not bleeding from his eyebrows.
Oh, no. You see, Mr. Fritz has a mind of his own because look at him. Of course he does. And while he's never hurt anyone, his antics surely are unsettling. I know. Will took it away.
He's just staring at me. His eyes looked real.
They do look real. His antics are surely unsettling to those who are unfamiliar with his story, and even to those who are. For you see, Mr. Fritz does not remain still in his glass little home. Oh no, he has had more than a few homes before that of Mr. Diamond. Mr. Fritz was discovered by a well-known World War II militaria collector while on a buying trip in an antiques mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Once the dealer heard that he, Mr. Fritz, had a connection with a German POW camp, he felt compelled to buy him and bring him to the UK.
Is that like Carl Tanzler?
Kind of, but like
Wasn't
this
he-
is Nazis. I don't
Right.
think he was
Oh.
Nazis. I don't remember. I have to go back.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to our episode.
I know, I have to go back. It was so long ago. It was almost a whole year ago. It was then that the weird things started to happen. This dealer, who wishes to remain anonymous, put Mr. Fritz on display in his showroom. And every morning, when the dealer would open up shop, he would find Mr. Fritz's plexiglass glass case wide open, despite having been sure that it was closed tight when he left the night before. Night after night, the dealer would lock up, making sure that Mr. Fritz's door was closed, and every morning he found it swinging open. The dealer was perplexed as to how this could be happening. He thought maybe a mouse had taken up residence in the dummy's head, perhaps there was a draft or a change in the carefully monitored humidity, but no, none of those things were present. The dealer, in frustration, would go on to tape the door of the case shut, but the next morning the tape would be carefully peeled from its place and the door would once again be open. And that's when he noticed that other changes occurred in Mr. Fritz overnight. His mouth, which had rested in a closed position, would sometimes be wide open, or his closed eyes would be hanging open in distress, or they would be pointing one direction and then they would change to the other.
I don't like that at all.
No, nobody likes that. That's awful. It was then that the dealer knew that Mr. Fritz had to go. So he took him out of the display room and relocated him to a shed in his own backyard, which that's your first mistake. For 6 months, the dealer's children would report the sounds of high-pitched giggling and small, hollow footsteps in that shed, which is when the dealer passed on the mischievous Mr. Fritz to Michael Diamond, who in turn did a little research. The journey into discovering the history of Mr. Fritz takes us back to World War II Germany, where nothing good ever happened. The following is taken directly from an interview with Dan Baines that he conducted with Mike Diamond regarding the research that he had done. Quote, Mr. Diamond was also given a small handwritten note that accompanied Mr. Fritz, and it explained that he was originally a ventriloquist doll who was used to entertain Allied POWs during World War II in Stalag 2B between 1943 and 1945. Stalag 2B was a German prisoner of war camp situated 2.4 kilometers west of the village of Hammerstein in Poland. In 1933, it was established as one of the first Nazi concentration camps and was used to house German communists. In late September 1939, the camp was changed to a POW camp to house Polish soldiers, and in August of 1943, the first American prisoners arrived, having been taken prisoner in the Tunisian campaign. Over 600 United States prisoners of war were held in Stalag 2B, and life was harsh, consisting of long days of hard labor on neighboring farms with meager rations. Prisoners tried to overcome these hardships by educating themselves and staging entertainment, such as musical acts and comedy. Among the prisoners with enough energy to entertain was Private Billy Booth, who had been a children's entertainer and puppeteer before the war started. He had made Mr. Fritz with German newspapers soaked in potato starch and painted him with a smuggled pot of pink gloss, that's why he's so red and shiny, that a Polish farmer had given him, which had been used to paint his daughter's cot. For almost 18 months, Billy Booth and Mr. Fritz entertained the prisoners of Stalag 2B with jokes and songs. He was so good that even some of the German guards found him funny. But unfortunately, on the 14th of January, 1945, 2 weeks before the camp was liberated, Billy and 9 other United States prisoners of war were taken into a field, made to dig a large pit, and shot for not working hard enough. When the camp was finally liberated on January 28, 1945, Mr. Fritz was taken back to the United States by a fellow prisoner and given to Billy Booth's family as a reminder of their son's fortitude and his ability to raise morale in the harshest conditions, lest we forget. How Mr. Fritz ended up in a United States antique mall, we don't know. Did Billy Booth's family give him away, or was he thrown out for being too lively. These are things we will never know. All we do know is that what remains of Billy Booth's creation is safely tucked away in Michael Diamond's collection, where he shall remain for the foreseeable future. And if Billy wants to open Mr. Fritz's cabinet every now and again to reminisce days gone by, then Michael doesn't have a problem with that. And open the cabinet he does.
Oh, no.
Intrigued rather than frightened by the mysterious ways of Mr. Fritz, Mr. Diamond set up a camera trained on Mr. Fritz overnight. And what he discovered was nothing short of hair-raising.
Oh, can we not?
You guys can see the video. If you want to see it, I'll find it for you.
Oh, God, no.
Not only does the door to Mr. Fritz's case pop open and appears to swing around in a non-existent breeze, but his eyes open and shut, and his mouth opens and closes in in the little motion that he would be talking. Perhaps he's trying to eke out a few more jokes or elicit a couple more smiles.
Oh, stop.
I'll post the video. Thankfully, Mr. Fritz has finally found a home with someone who understands him. And while his story is nothing short of tragic, I'm not sure I'd want him rolling his eyes around in my house in the middle of the night. Slappy either. Keep the dummies where they belong.
Yeah, dummies. I
Slappy
hate
doesn't like to be
that.
called a dummy. I told you you would hate it.
Hate it. I never
first
want to
thing
see this video. Ever. Never show it to me.
Guys, I'll send it to you.
No.
You can see it. It's so bad. It's very scary.
Veronica wants it.
Veronica wants it. I can get it to her.
Are you ready for side-by-side swap?
Slappy and Mr. Fritz? Sure.
No.
No, Mr. Fritz and Elena.
Oh, and
Oh,
Elena? Okay, yeah.
Hold on. All right. There's Mr. Fritz.
Hey, Mr. Fritz.
And, hold on.
Carl Tanzler's.
That's like real
Creation.
eyes. That's a real
I know.
eye.
And here's Elena.
Yeah?
There it is. They're beautiful.
I mean, I can see the similarities there. If only Carl Tanzler.
I'm getting so nauseous. You have to take it down. I feel nauseous. Like, I want it to be fine, but I'm slowly getting sick.
If only Carl Tanzler had given Elena a mouth that opened and closed.
I bet he opened and closed it.
I thought he did.
No, that was another part of her.
Ew. Holly, you took it too far.
Will promoted me. Oh, hi, Ariel. She's late, but she's here.
Good job.
We're
We're
like
done.
done. You can rewind and watch it, though.
No.
It's going to be on our YouTube channel as soon as we're finished.
I haven't seen that.
Here, Will wants you to see these guys. Mostly because Leslie hates them so much. Lisa, you want the video, too? All right, well, I will definitely put the video up for everybody.
Oh, we'll have a reaction video. I would be crying.
Leslie has to videotape herself watching it.
Oh.
It's just going to be a lot of this. It's going to be very stressed out Leslie faces the whole time.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I
Lord.
was watching I was trying to get another story for tonight, and I got a YouTube video that was just about there's a bunch of scarecrow bandits. So the other story I was going to pick was The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and I kept coming up with these scarecrow bandits all over. There was some in Dallas, and then another one in San Diego, and then this other video, which I thought was about the one in Dallas, ended up being one that happened in Canada somewhere. So I clicked on the video, and the video was of nothing. It was just this guy strolling along a cart that was empty, but then he was clearly going to rob a store. And it wasn't going to be anything bad. It was on the regular news. And there was no other warning, that something creepy is going to happen. And I had to turn it off because I got so scared, something wild was about to happen. That's how bad I am at videos.
Will's over there looking up the video of Mr. Fritz. I'm telling you.
It right now.
I knew it. He's going to show it.
Are you going to show it?
If it's the 4-minute one, it has words too, but that's okay.
Oh, no.
Do you guys want to see it right now? Do you want to see Mr. Fritz? John wants to see your reaction.
Everyone wants to.
All right, Will's loading it.
I have popcorn.
Of course you can have some popcorn. There's butter on it, though.
Phil,
gonna hate
for
that?
3 minutes.
We have 3 minutes to fill it. Anybody have questions, comments, compliments?
We need validation. See how dry my skin is.
Oh, my God. No, I have 8 pounds of makeup on right now. You can't see anything in my skin. It's fine. Who needs to? Anybody else have things to say?
It's your AMA time.
Ask me anything. Or watch us eat popcorn.
That's fun too. I like to do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's a good video.
I like, can you stop chewing into the microphone?
Can't stop, won't stop.
Veronica said she'll have the same reaction as me, but she wants to watch it. That's like the difference between me and...
I just want to see Leslie cry.
Yeah. I have to drive home after.
I mean, it's like 4 minutes long, and it builds over time. It's very tense.
Oh, wait, and I just remembered. So John Radicasa gave me
Hi, John.
a wig and like put the wig on like a little head person.
Yeah.
And that's currently sitting in my bedroom because my mother-in-law didn't want it like in the house anymore. So I had to put it in my bedroom somewhere till I can get it back to him. And we have a very small room. So now it's just sitting by the window. And I'm by the window. So
Oh, no.
that's what I'm going to see tonight. It's just this head with a Moira Rose wig
Oh
on.
my god. Is it the one that has like all pinpricks in the face?
It's the crow. Oh, no, not that. No, it's
Okay.
just a white one.
No, the
It's very
foam
pretty.
heads.
It does look really creepy because the reflection from the window catches our computer screen.
Yeah.
So when you look at the computer screen, you can see this face
Oh no.
in there. And that's
John
very
has a
pretty.
wig head that looks like it's screaming too. So
Does-
just be
does
glad
it
you.
Does it look anything like this, Leslie?
Mr. Bricks.
It's actually much prettier. She seems nice.
No. John, you owned every Goosebump book as a kid? Wow.
He would.
62.
Probably has all the movies too. He has a lot of VHS tapes at his house.
He does have VHS tapes.
Going to John's house is like
It's a delight.
it is. You
I
get
love going to
snacks,
John's house.
and you get to like go down memory lane.
What did we talk about? Three Ninjas?
Oh my gosh. Who else watched Three Ninjas?
Jill.
That's like the best.
Jill
movie.
liked it. It was a little past my time. I'm an old person.
My brother watched it with me.
Everyone's like waiting with bated breath for this horrifying video. And we're not even the sound is it doesn't matter. So you don't need sound on it. So don't worry about it.
It's probably worse.
He doesn't make
without
sound.
the
There's no sound and the video is just like
heavy breathing.
kind of sounds like that. It's just like the air. Yes, Lisa, I do remember the Goosebumps TV show. My kids discovered it on Netflix kind of recently. And they were like, ew, this is old.
Why is it grainy?
You know, I was like, look, there's real R.L. Stein. They're
Why is
like,
it
that's
funny?
not Jack Black. I want my money back. My eye is watering so much. More eyelashes for this.
I bought eyelashes, but then I didn't know that I had to buy something to put the eyelashes on.
Glue?
Yeah, I didn't know. I just thought they had it on there. Like I thought that
Oh
I
my
peeled
God.
something off.
They're not a sticker.
Yeah, no. So
That's precious. I don't like the eyelashes I have on. They're too rigid. I won't buy them again. You're poking me in the eye.
Yeah.
I don't like it. How's
we're
it going
doing
there?
like reviews right now. That was like us doing a review.
Of eyelashes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Product review.
Yeah, Lisa, I think it's on Netflix. It's like Netflix or Hulu. My kids found it. We have most streaming services.
John's watching it tonight.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
That's fun. Get it on screen, Will. Mr. Fritz is coming. It's gonna get moved, you guys. You can cover my face right up. Come over with me. Do you want to switch with me? Would that be better? There you go. Here we go. The new owner would find Mr. Fritz's door open most mornings, even though it had been firmly shut the day before. Curious, the owner left a camera running to see what he could capture. I'll narrate for you. I'm the stage manager.
This is 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's 4 minutes long.
I don't like it, guys.
What? Keep going.
This guy just has
Note the amount of orb activity. You see it. It's little. Sweet air traveling downward. There's more than that.
I feel like his face is creepy. Like he's having a stroke.
This is like in this guy's living room.
I feel like it's moving already. Is it already?
Do you need to see my face? I'm not nervous.
Does the door shut?
There's more. No, there's more. It does more.
But when he comes in the morning, is it shut?
No. Wait, okay. The following night, he captured something something minorly scary. This is so much worse, William. Just keep watching.
So that was one night.
Yeah, this is the next night.
The door is shut. Just leave the door open. Just take it off.
I watched this earlier. His eyes.
No! They opened!
Yeah, they did. Wait, they closed now.
God damn it!
Wait, there's more. So bad. Keep watching his face. Don't worry, we get a close up here.
Why did
There's his mouth again. Yeah, oh it is.
Can you do it slowly or like fast?
It's not, you don't sneak out.
What's opening the door?
I don't know!
I think this is stopped. It looks like it's edited. Why is it getting dark?
Because I've done with that.
Oh, okay.
Let's take a closer look.
I don't want to.
Watch
sir.
the eyes and mouth.
No, I saw it.
You have no choice.
We don't need it.
We do. There he is. Woo! There's the eyes open. Killing it. Woo!
It actually looks less creepy up close.
Doesn't look how open his live human eyes are. Oh, now he's sleeping.
Like hiding behind the video, even though I can see it.
Mouth.
I think this is edited. What do you guys think?
We're just gonna.
It's edited, right?
We're just
Whatever
gonna.
helps you sleep.
Yeah, we're just gonna look at his mouth go. Look at his mouth.
Just do one thing with your mouth. Leave it. Why is it getting dark?
Because that's it. That's Mr. Fritz, you guys. I mean, like, sure, there's a good chance it's edited, but it's a very good scary story. And it's about a haunted ventriloquist dummy. So we did it. Like Slappy.
Did it.
Leslie's scarred for life.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
I want a screenshot of that. There.
Forgot to do that earlier. Sorry.
Look at our little Goosebumps font. Anybody have any questions? Anything they want to talk about? Any questions about previous cases we've covered? We're here now. So are you.
Need to work that off.
Leslie needs to not talk about Mr. Fritz for a little while.
Please.
Will can't stop. He loves him.
His favorite.
Oh, no.
William.
I know. Get him out of here. We're done with Mr. Fritz. Veronica, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I hope you don't have Mr. Fritz nightmares.
Oh, we have 10 people tonight.
We do.
Maybe 8, because I think we're 2.
That's fine.
It's cool.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
I'm glad everyone's here.
And we'll put this up on YouTube like immediately afterwards so everybody else can watch it. They're just not allowed to interact
Yeah.
and be here live
Yeah.
with us. So this is your time to shine, fiends.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
What do you want to know? We're so interesting. Ask us questions.
That's so boring. Oh,
Holly,
no.
how's your skating going?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you learned to do so far?
I can skate backwards.
Okay.
I can do bubbles. I can do a spread eagle turn. I
Nice.
can do I can do crossovers. I've started with those, and I started the little strut walk.
Nice.
So like, I'm coming for you, TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can get those songs going
Mhm.
soon.
Yeah. So I'm working on it. Like, for anyone who's not my friend on social media, I roller skate now. So
Every night.
every night in my kitchen, I roller skate around, and sometimes I go to the basketball court when it's not freezing cold and
exciting.
horrible.
It was so cold today.
It was awful today. Oh, Lisa, I'm so glad you liked this one. I think Leslie and I talked about, like, we also want to do, I don't know if it'll be over on the actual podcast or we'll do it here. We'll do one of these for Are You Afraid of the Dark and one for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There are 62 Goosebumps books, so we could foreseeably do more of these, obviously.
Just keep going.
Yeah, and if this is something everybody reacts positively to, then obviously we'll do a full episode.
Oh.
And give you, like, a whole hour and change on Goosebumps stories. Leslie, how's your foot?
Good.
There's her boot. She took it off for a while.
I did.
They were not pleased.
I was told to put it back on.
You weren't booting around the last time you were here.
Oh, no. But yeah. It started to feel like it wasn't connected again, so put it back on.
That grosses me out so much when you say things like, I could feel that my toe was not connected.
It's not connected.
I don't want to know. We need to pick out some classic disco songs for your videos. Sure, Brian.
Yeah.
Will is very into that. He wants, like, all the old-timey disco songs. I'm more of, like, a 90s roller skate girl.
Yeah.
Little Mariah Carey, Dream Lover.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
Be fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mhm.
I can't wait to skate with you.
I know. I need you to wear your boot and get better so you can skate with
if
me.
I just put wheels on this boot, I could go for it.
I feel like that's a bad idea.
I
And
don't
that
know.
you get injured, like, climbing into your bed. So you can't.
It's true.
You can't. I was like, I fell on my ass. You're like, oh, I've broken my ass 100 times.
Just wait till after the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a wedding. You can't. Let's keep it together.
People keep telling me I need to wait. I couldn't do roller derby because I was a massage therapist, so they were nervous I was gonna like break my wrist.
If
or,
you've
like,
done roller derby, you could have been so ahead of the game right now.
I know. People are always telling me I can't. They're always putting me down, Holly.
I hate it. Guys, tell Leslie she can. Also, everyone roller skate with me. I want everyone to be obsessed with roller skating.
Yeah.
Maybe horror hosts as a theme. Elvira Svengoolie. Oh, Brian, I don't know what I would do with them because I don't know that they actually have like a scary story about. I mean, Elvira is very interesting. I guess I'd have to like try and look into one of the movies they have in their lineup or something. That's
I don't know
interesting.
anything about them.
Let me think about it.
Do I? What are they? Maybe horror hosts.
They like okay. This is before both of our time, but I guess Svengoolie still does it on some stations. There would like TV stations would have like when we watched Halloween. This was in Halloween. They would have like horror movie nights where they would show like 3 or 4 of them, and there would be someone that hosted the night. That's what Elvira is famous for.
Okay.
So there's a few people that are like, that's what they did. That's what they were famous for. But I don't know. I don't know if they have any background. I don't know. I like Elvira a lot. She's cool. Beth loves to roller skate. Everyone should roller skate. It's the best time. Found a rink that was like lots of COVID safety precautions a couple weeks ago or last week. Hopefully we're going again on Sunday. So, yeah, that's what I do now.
I'm looking to start a female roller hockey team, so who wants to join?
Maybe Beth likes roller hockey. Beth?
Maybe.
Or derby. Everyone, when I was like, I roller skate now, everyone's like, so you're doing roller derby? Look at me. Do you think that I'm doing roller derby?
You would just have to put some pink at the bottom of your hair, and you'd be good to go.
And gain like way more courage, less fear of falling, and a violent streak.
Yeah, but you would just fall into people.
And on the ground.
No, just fall into people and take them with you to cushion it.
I hate all of that. I can't do derby.
You'll be like
God.
in pads.
Ooh, John, you'll record my skating for Tiki Talkies? I would love that. That sounds fun.
Ooh, if we skated by him, he has a hill. That would be fun.
Oh no. I have to
Be
make sure
so
I'm like a
fun.
little bit better before I go bombing down a hill.
I want to get my rollerblades on and go like grinding.
I want you to do that too, but also your foot is disconnected or something.
Just the toe.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right, guys. I think that about does it for tonight. So,
That everyone stayed on for.
I know. That's what I said. Like, we're here. We're live. If there's anything you want to talk about, we'll talk about Leslie's broken foot and my roller skates.
Yeah. You guys are our friends.
Yeah.
And I love it.
We're all friends now.
Yeah.
Invite your friends, they'll be our fiends, and then we can all party together.
Yes.
As I always say in our plea for support in the
We
beginning.
have to do our cheers.
Oh,
or
toast!
toasts. Yeah.
That's right. Thank God you're all still here. If anybody has a toast that they want.
That's why they're like, that's why we're waiting.
I know, guys. That's what we were waiting for. First of all, clearly to Mr. Fritz.
Ooh.
He gave us so much entertainment. Cheers, Mr. Fritz.
And to Private Billy Booth for making him.
Oh, he had a sad time. Private Billy Booth. Who else are
We
we?
should have worked harder.
William! Put Mr. Fritz to bed for the night. You came back not having it. God. Oh, no. That was so good. Leave him alone, William. Mr. Fritz is tired. Brian says he can't roller skate. He only learned briefly in his mid-20s. I have no proper balance. Oh, balance is the thing. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, it happens. Balance is a big deal with roller skating. Do we have to toast to anybody else? I mean, nobody in your story was good.
No.
Except for poor, what's her name?
Darlene Sittler.
Yeah, poor Darlene. Cheers to Darlene. She didn't do anything wrong. She
No,
called the damn cops.
She did, and she only had students loved her, and the whole town loved her.
Oh,
I mean, even their
Darlene.
neighbors said that knew Gregory. They said that like they couldn't believe that he was even capable of any of that. But I guess you never know. You
Oh,
never-
and to Chloe. Poor
Yeah.
Chloe from my first story.
Mhm. My tummies are so.
Why don't we like never use these whenever oh my god, there's been
Use, like,
so many
plastic cups.
episodes where I've like clinked a pencil on a coffee mug and it has not been working.
Mm-mm. And to our fiends.
Yes, and for all our fiends that came tonight. I didn't write a tag, but let's see. Should I just think of one right on the spot?
And if we were covered in goosebumps,
We'd just be chilly.
we'd wear gear.
I mean, you might be able to die of too many goosebumps. Does anybody know that? I don't think you can.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
And if we had to watch that video of Mr. Fritz alone in our bedrooms more than once, we would be dead. Leslie would be dead.
Be dead. I'm dead now. I've died.
We're all dead. Bye!